Good day, everyone. My name is MicheleDClark, and I am just a small town girl with big time dreams who God has shown his grace and his mercy, and he has saved me from some life-threatening situations. And when I say small town, I'm talking about Harvey, Illinois, and most people don't even know where that is, but it's near the south side of Chicago. Now, you don't have to know where Harvey is or even be a reporter on America's Most Wanted to know how Chicago had its nickname Chirac. I'm talking about people are thugging and drugging and stealing and killing, doing all sorts of things. But instead of being a dope dealer, I'm a hope dealer with my company, Lift Nation, where I am empowering women to live inspired, free, and transform. And in order to do that, I got my bachelor's in psychology. I also got my master's in social work. So I'm a licensed therapist, mental health therapist, and I'm also a life coach. But you know what? I would say the thing that I'm most proud of, if you will, is the fact that I got my PhD from the School of Hard Knocks. You see, I've been through some things. And so the fact that I've been through it means I've overcome those things. I've dealt with those things. And so now, because of that, I can proudly say that I'm the Harriet Tubman of authenticity, where I'm empowering women to break the chains of stereotypes and shatter those glass ceilings and shed the baggage. Shed that baggage of negative past hurts and traumas and tragedies and negative self-belief. So let me tell you all the story. You know, when I was 14 years old, I thought I was indestructible. Most 14-year-olds do. And I thought that all the way up until the point when I was raped by a 19-year-old. See, when I was raped by that 19-year-old, it shattered my whole self-identity. So what that person didn't realize and probably didn't care is that when he stole my virginity, he stole my self-identity. See, I thought that I was going to be able to walk down that aisleway wearing white for real, if you know what I mean. So when that happened, it shifted me off my axis. So it wasn't just a mindset shift, but it was a total identity shift. I didn't know who I was anymore. I was lost. I felt dirty and tainted. I felt unlovable. I felt unworthy. I felt like something to just be used up and just thrown to the side. Because I felt that way, I started to treat myself that way. And I started to allow others to treat me that way. And as a matter of fact, I started to engage and interact with people who I knew were not going to treat me the way I should be treated, because I didn't feel like I should be treated in that higher way. So I allowed myself to be used up and thrown away, tossed to the side, perpetual side chick, a side chick of a side chick, right? I'm talking horrible. Hanging out with what I call my deacon daddy calls undesirables. You know, just doing all sorts of things that I didn't have any business doing. This wasn't how I was raised, but I lost my way. And so after spiraling down this rabbit hole of self-degradation, I knew that this was not what God had intended for me. This was not my purpose for being here. That wasn't my purpose for being created. I knew there had to be something better, something more for me. And so in order to do something different, in order to have something different, you have to do something different. And so I had to go a different route. I had to reclaim my identity. I had to rediscover who I am. I had to learn that all over again and repurpose myself, repackage myself. And so I had to put in the work. And I did. I put in the work, y'all. Yes, I got counseling myself. Yes, Miss Transform, I got counseling. I went to therapy. Listen, let me tell you something. When I say transform, that means that I had to have gone through something, right? In order to transform, there had to be something formed in the first place in order for the transaction to happen, for the transformation to occur. So when I say transform, that means I've been through some things. But that, again, is what gives me the ability to now help others who are going through some things, who have been through some things and still haven't found that transformation yet. See, it took me, from 14 to about 38, 39. That was almost like, y'all do the math for me, but it was somewhere around 25, some odd years it took me in order to heal and recover from what happened to me when I was 14 years old. And one of the challenges is nowadays you have people who are adult in age, but they're still operating in their hurt. They're still operating in their trauma. They're still operating in their tragedy. They're still operating in their victimization. So they're stuck in that age. They have a hiccup and they hook up and they're stuck in that spot. And they're not able to look up or get up because they're stuck. They're stuck in the muck. And so what I did to get unstuck is what some people have to do. Now and I say some people do because I don't want to say this is what you have to do, because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything but die. There's some people just say, I don't do nothing but pay taxes and die. You ain't got to pay taxes. You're going to reap the benefits, or not reap the benefits, but sow the benefits, right? The consequences if you don't. But you have to die. I have not met anybody yet, seen anybody yet who just has this eternal life. I don't know. On this side of the dirt. So you don't have to do anything. But if you want something different, you have to do something different. And that's what I did. So I had steps. I had steps that I took in order to make that difference. So the first thing I did was I had to surround myself with people who were for me, not against me. I had to rid myself and detach myself from those undesirables. That's part one. So just think about it. Think about it. If somebody is a smoker and they identify themselves, I'm a smoker. That's what I do. Or I'm a drinker. Or I'm a this, I'm a that. Birds of a feather flock together. So you tend to hang out with those types of people. So if you are trying to not be a smoker anymore, not just I don't want to smoke. No, I'm not a smoker anymore. I'm putting that to the side. I'm casting that away. That's no longer who I am. Then you have to detach yourself from those types of people. So I had to detach myself from the undesirables in order for me not to continue to be an undesirable. That was step one. I had to get back to my roots, back to who I knew I was back then. I had to get back to my source. My source, I don't know what that is for you. My source is God. I had to get back to the word, because see, God loves me despite of the things that I've been through. As a matter of fact, he loved me even more because of the things that I went through, and that he was able to save me. And now I have a testimony so I can talk about the goodness of who he is and how he saved me. See, at the beginning when I talk about how I'm just a small town girl, big time dreams, where God showed us grace and mercy and pulled me through some things, saved my life, I wouldn't have that testimony if I didn't have the tests. So it's because I have those tests that I'm able to now testify. That's me. That's my story. I don't know what your story is, but I'm telling you, that's what I did in order to overcome. Like I said, I got the help. I got professional help. I got therapy. As I was going through getting my bachelor's degree, I decided that, you know what, I need to start getting some therapy. So my journey started then. But the healing didn't begin then, but the journey began then. See, I knew that there was something wrong. So sometimes you can't even put your finger on what it is that's wrong. You might say, I know something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something's not right. You know, something's not right. Hey, how you doing, Sunita? And hey, Janine, how y'all doing? You know something is wrong, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And so I knew something was wrong. I knew that I was off balance. I knew that what I was doing, what I was going through as a teenager, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. It wasn't. Let me tell you something. I did some things that I would be too ashamed. That I would be too ashamed to really go through with you all right here on this live. But let me tell you something. I can give you the gist of it. And we can talk about on the back end if you want to talk about some gook, right? But the bottom line is, yes, one night stands, been there, did that. Sleeping with some guys, didn't even know their name. Or they told me their name, didn't remember. That part. Somebody's already with somebody, didn't matter. That part. Those things. Crying myself to sleep, praying that God wouldn't wake me up in the morning. Yeah, that part. Trying to decide how I was going to assist God in that process since he kept waking me up the next day. Yeah, trying to figure that out too. Yeah, that part. hoping that if I continue to hang around those undesirables, that something undesirable would happen to me that would end my life. Yeah, that part. Right, all of that. So when I say at the beginning that God saved me, he spared me, he saved me, he pulled me through, I'm for real, for real. He didn't let me go. I let go of him, but he didn't let go of me. Let me tell you all a quick story. You may have heard this before. There's a man who's walking. He's walking on the beach with the Lord. And all of a sudden, the times are good. And you see all the 4 footprints. 2 from him, 2 from God. When things got rough and tough, all you saw was 2 footprints. So 1 set of footprints. And then when things got good again, you saw the 2 sets, right? So then he asked God, hey, what's going on, man? You know, you was walking with me when things was good, and then all of a sudden things got bad and you left me. What's up with that, God? How you gonna leave me? God was like, listen, sir, when times got tough, I didn't leave you. You only saw 2 footprints because I carried you. Because I carried you. And during those times, when I let myself down, when I let my parents down, they didn't raise me like that. When I let my family down, that wasn't my family name, right? When I let the people who were looking up to me, the people who didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, because I still carried my head up in a certain way, but oh, let the lights go out, honey. Woo! Let the lights go out. I wasn't the same person. Wasn't the same person you saw walking the streets, and one day my day person and night person almost collided. Somebody asked me about it. I had to lie. Oh, no, that wasn't me. Oh, no, I ain't do that. That part. But I got the help. I started the counseling because I knew that there was something that we call cognitive dissonance. The best way to explain that is like, let's talk about the smoker, right? If you're a smoker, but you're going around knocking on doors telling people they shouldn't smoke, there's something wrong with that picture, but you're smoking. Or you're alcoholic and you're telling people you need to stop drinking because it's bad for you. You can get liver, this and that, dialysis, blah, 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 blah. And you're going through all the negative effects of what could happen to that person. But yet you're doing that same thing. See, that's that cognitive dissonance where you feel that weirdness, that unease. It's not lining up. And so that's what I started to feel. I was feeling that things weren't lining up. That what I knew of myself prior to me being raped, what I knew of myself was not the same person, the same things that I was engaging in. I wasn't the same person anymore. I had to get back to that person. And again, I found my source. Again, I guess surrounded myself with people. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Janine. Janine says, she's trying to learn how to love herself again. 100%. 100%. And that may come with some sort of therapeutic services or some sort of counseling or some sort of life coaching, something. Because what happens is the mindset that we enter that thing, we enter that challenge, that trauma, that tragedy, may not be the same mindset, probably isn't going to be the same mindset that's going to get us out of it. And it doesn't matter what that trauma is. It could be financial demise. It could be, yes, it could be a loss. My word. My condolences to you, Janine. An identical twin sister. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being vulnerable right now. That's one of the core tenets that helps us to heal is by being vulnerable and being vulnerable in the right spaces. You're so welcome. Being vulnerable in a space, a safe space. And it starts our healing process. It helps us to get delivered. When we talk about deliverance, think about if you're a mom. I'm a mom. I have 2 kids. I have one special needs son. He's 17, about to be 18. They said he'd never make it out of the hospital alive. Here he is almost 18 years later. I have a daughter who's 14 years old. Oh, she's so special. She's so magnificent. But let me tell you something. Both of them had to be birthed. They were inside of me and I carried them. My son was premature. I had a blood vessel that ruptured. Both of us bled out. He lost 75% of his blood. It took them 11 minutes to revive him. He was clinically dead for 11 minutes, y'all. Both of them had to be birthed differently. She was a VBAC, meaning vaginal birth after cesarean. But both of them had to be birthed. They couldn't stay inside of me. They had to come out. That's a delivery, a deliverance. They were delivered. They were changed. They were brought out, brought through. They came through the birthing canal. And that's what we have to do when we want to get through whatever it is that we're going through. We go through it so we can grow through it. So then that way we can reach back and help somebody else. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I started Lift Life Coaching Solutions. And that's why I started Lift Nation. So that way we as women can pool our resources. Because I have something that you may not have. You have something that I don't have. And we put it all together in the synergy, the magic, the growth that happens because of us putting it together, all of us being positive, all of us wanting to be forward thinkers, all of us want to be movers and shakers, all of us wanting to see each other succeed, locking our arms together. Listen, I have another story I want to tell you all. So I went to a retreat, and at the retreat I went to, it was a bunch of women, and the person who was hosting the retreat told us all to line up. And they said, okay, line up, and we all were in a line, like horizontal, right next to shoulder to shoulder. She got in front of one lady, she pushed her. And that lady kind of stumbled. She didn't push her hard enough to fall. She was pushing her to make an example. And then she says, okay, ladies, I want y'all all to lock arms. We all locked arms with each other. She pushed that same lady. And I bet you already knew the outcome. That lady barely even budged. One, she didn't budge because she knew what was going to happen. So it didn't catch her off guard. But I'm going to tell you there's something more powerful than that. She didn't budge because we were locked arms and she knew she had the support of the ladies next to her. She knew that she had that support. So yes, she knew she was about to go through something. She knew that. But her strength not only came from knowing, but her strength came from knowing not only about the incident that was about to be inflicted upon her, but because of the fact that she knew she had her sisters standing next to her that were holding on to her, locking arms. So we gave her that extra oomph, that extra energy, that extra power. So separately, yes, we have powers, but let me tell you something. When we get together and we lock arms, we're unstoppable. S on our chest, superpowers. And that's what Lift Nation is about, you all. That's what it's all about. Yes, exactly, Alexandria. Yes, helping each other. How you doing? Helping each other. We have to help each other. Point blank, period. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this thing. You don't have to do anything. But let me say this. If you don't help somebody else when it comes time for you to need help, look around, see who's going to be around. If all you do is take, and you don't ever give in, let me tell you something. The person who doesn't deposit anything into the bank but calls themselves trying to withdraw from the bank, that's called a robber, a thief. And that's what we do sometimes in our relationships, knowingly and unknowingly. We just take, and we don't ever put anything in. And so that's what we do at Lift Nation. We put in. We want to be able to put in and take out. You put in. So when you have to give. Right? But that's what I did. So that's why I birthed Lift Nation. So that way we can have this network of women, professional, positive, forward-thinking women. So that way, if there's something that has happened to you in your life that you're trying to get through, Lift Life Coaching Solutions, I'm here. That's what I'm here for. That's one of the things that I'm putting into the Lift Nation. I'm attaching coaching along with that. Lift Life Coaching Solutions, I'm attaching that along with. So what I want to do is I want to give you all a free gift right now. There's a lot of things that I've been through. There's a lot of things that I've grown through. And I want to be able to help you. All you have to do is go to www.MicheleDClark.com. That's MicheleDClark.com. One L, you don't need two, and one does the same. So one L in Michelle. And you can book your free conversation exploration with me. If you're not sure you're ready, it's okay. Change is hard. Transformation is difficult. It can be scary too. Hey, Maurice, how you doing? It can be scary to change. So if that's the case, you're not sure, and you're not sure if you're ready, it's okay. All you have to do, that same page, just advance the page and just put in your information email and say, I want something different, but I'm not sure if I'm ready. You can put that down, or just put down, I don't know. Just hashtag, I don't know. That's fine too. It'll connect with me. I'll connect with you. And we can just go back and forth via email. Because just to be very transparent, some people say, you know what, Michelle, I may not want to book an appointment because you might try to sell me something. I don't want to make any kind of monetary investment. That's okay. That's fine. Hit me up on an email. We can talk some things through and see if I can even help you. But that's what the DC call, we call them discovery calls. That's what the conversation exploration is, so we can get to know each other, we can break bread and find out if we even can work together. Because bottom line is, just because you booked the call doesn't mean that I'm going to work with you. And it doesn't mean that you're going to want to work with me. It's for us to be able to decide if what you have going on, if you're ready and willing to make those changes, and if I'm the person to be that change agent for you. I don't know. So let's take the mystery out of it. Let's take the mystery out of it. At the end, I'll make some recommendations, of some services and products. And guess what? If it's not something that's for you, you can say, no, thank you. It's not going to hurt my feelings. It's fine. There's a joke. There's a joke that about therapists that says, how many therapists does it take to change a light bulb? And there is no number for that, because the light bulb first has to want to make the change. The light bulb has to want to change. So on the other end, you'll have to want to change. I had to want to change, and I did. I wanted to change. I got the help. I made the change. And that's what I can do. That's what I can help you with. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing? I can help. That's what I do. A mindset management coach, life coach, that's what I do. And so if you want to make some changes in your life, I want to help you with that. If you're not ready to make those changes, it's okay. I'll still be here in some shape, form, or fashion to help you. Because that's what I do. All right. So you all, I didn't even come off. Let me tell you. Okay. Fun fact, y'all. I actually came on. To talk about how my mom has been supportive of me. So when I talked about our support system, I actually want to talk about my mom, and that she turned 80 yesterday. Woo woo! 80 years old, and I had a virtual review with BEEYOU, BU LLC, that I started with Keisha E. Newton, and we started a company, BEEYOU, and that is a speaking platform where we are helping women to take their stories of what they've been through and be able to share it on a platform to help others. So just like I'm sharing right now on this platform, we're going to have a virtual platform on November 5th. So between now and, I don't know when the cutoff date is, I don't have that just yet, because we just did our reveal today. But we're taking applications now. So if you are interested, all you have to do is go over to, you can either go ahead on this live and say, I'm interested. That's fine. I'll get back with you. I'll connect with you on the back end. You can hit me up on Lift Nation, or you can go over to East Meets West in Michigan, and you can leave us a note there. Hey, so I'm Michelle on live. I want to be a part of BU so I can share my story and help somebody, and also help myself, because sharing your own story is cathartic. Being able to share what you've been through, it helps. It helps the healing process. It can actually help us to become desensitized to it. That's something that we do in TFCBT, trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. We help people to become desensitized to the thing that has traumatized them. So I can go all off into that later. But the bottom line is, my mom was on our virtual reveal as far as a watcher. So she logged on. My sister helped her. And she logged on, and she's one of my number one supporters. And so, Mom, I know you aren't watching this right now, but at some point in time, you may see this, you may not, but the universe will let you know, I love you to life. I love you so much. You were there for me through thick and thin. You were there for me when I didn't know who I was, when I was lost, and I was engaging in those undesirable behaviors. You did not give up on me either. You pray for me every single night. And I thank you. I thank you for not letting me go blowing like a leaf in the wind and helping me to stay grounded and rooted, because you were grounded and rooted and you were holding on to me when I let myself go. So I thank you, Mom. I love you to life. You are my everything. When you have people like that that's in your life, when you have that agape love, loving you with no strings attached, that's the kind of love that you need to hold on to. And it doesn't matter if it's a parent, a spouse, a child, a sibling, a coworker, your sister girl, whoever, your homeboy, whoever that is. When you have that kind of love, you hold on to it, you cherish it, and you let them know. Let them know. Don't let them know when you're standing over the casket that it's in their obituary or at the eulogy. No. Let them know. Matter of fact, as soon as you get off this live, call them up. If they don't live in the household with you, call them up and let them know how much you care for them, how much you love them, and how much they saved you. I'm going to end on this note. No matter what you've been through, you are lovable, you're worthy, you're valuable. And don't let anybody tell you or show you otherwise. So I love you to life. My name is MicheleDClark with Lift Nation, where we are empowering women to live inspired, free, and transform. Take care. God bless.